He cheats, you cry. He apologizes, you take him back. And the cycle repeats itself over and over and over again. You keep telling yourself that the next time is going to be different and that he's finally learned his lesson. But deep down, you already know the truth. And he's never going to stop. And here's why. The guy that you're with, whether he's your husband or whether your boyfriend, he doesn't cheat because he's broken or because of some deep-seated trauma. He cheats because he can. He cheats because it's available to him. Because he knows that no matter how many times he betrays you, you still stay. It's not about an addiction to another woman. It's about an addiction to power, to control, to the power that he holds over you as he holds you hostage. At this point, you need to understand, you just don't feel just betrayed. You feel like you're losing your mind, like you're going crazy. One minute he's all in, he's showering you with love, telling you that you're the only one, the only person in his life. And the next day, he's distant, he's cold, he's unreachable. And just when you're ready to walk away, he reels you back in with apologies, grand gestures, crocodile tears, and a bunch of different pieces, and you keep falling for it. The problem is it's every single time. Why? Because he's conditioned you. He's trained you to associate pain with love, chaos with passion, betrayal with forgiveness. This isn't just a toxic relationship, it's psychological warfare. And the problem is you're the casualty. You're the person that's getting impacted, affected, and destroyed. And you think maybe if you just love him enough, forgive him enough, become the perfect partner, maybe he'll stop. Newsflash, he's not. It was never about you. It was never about what you lacked. It was about getting what he could get away with. And as long as you're willing to stay, he's willing to keep playing this game over and over and over again. How long are you willing to keep playing his game? I used to be that guy. I cheated, I lied, and every time I got away with it, I felt invincible. I convinced myself that I deserved whatever I wanted, to do whatever I wanted, and that the consequences didn't matter. Because my wife would always forgive me, so why was it that big of a deal? The moment I realized I could break her heart and still have her, that's the moment I knew that I was in complete control. And that's exactly what this guy is doing to you. That's how he's manipulating and affecting you. He's not just cheating because he's working through his issues. He's cheating because he knows he's not going to lose you. So let's talk about what's the solution. You need to understand it's not about just fixing him. It's not about proving your worth. It's realizing that the only way to win this game is to stop playing the game. The moment you walk away, like truly walk away, is the moment that he loses everything. And that's a piece that he's actually terrified of. He doesn't want to admit. Cheating isn't just the physical act. It's a complex web. It's emotional, it's psychological manipulation that he's doing. For the cheater, it's about control. It's about dominance. It's about feeding an insatiable ego. For you, it's a whirlwind of confusion. There's self-doubt. There's all this stuff that's in your head. And you have this desperate hope for change that something's going to get better. Consider this for a moment. He cheats and you're devastated. He apologizes, perhaps even sheds a few tears, and promises it will never happen again. And you want to believe him because, well, the alternative is too painful to bear. So you end up forgiving him and keeping him in your life, hoping that this time it's going to be different, but it's not. The cycle repeats itself over and over again, but it's chipping away at you, chipping away at your self-esteem, chipping away at your sense of self-worth. It's chipping away at who you are. You see, cheaters oftentimes employ a range of emotion and manipulation tactics to keep you in the cycle. Gaslighting might be a common one that he might use. He might downplay the things that he's done, make you even feel like you're overreacting, or even shift the blame like it's your fault. Think of it, he might come up and he say, well, if you would have trusted me more, I wouldn't be seeking attention from other women. Thoughts like that and words like that are designed to make you question your own perceptions and to blame yourself for his choices, to blame yourself for what he decided to do. You might see him where he actually just love bombs. After a betrayal, after something you find out, he might overwhelm you with affection, with gifts, with grand gestures, making you feel special and loved and be like, oh, he gets me, he cares about me. And it creates this powerful contrast to the pain that he caused, making you more likely to forgive and to forget, at least temporarily. Because that's all he's trying to do is just push it away to the side. And over time, these cycles of hurt and back and forth create what's known as a trauma bond. It becomes a deep emotional attachment, something that's between you and the abuser and the victim, and is characterized by this powerful addictive pull. The intermittent reinforcement, affection, and abuse. Back and forth. It creates this up and down, this roller coaster of emotions, making it almost impossible and incredibly hard to actually break free. Do you have this in your life? Do you see yourself in that? Because you're not just addicted to the highs of his affection, but also to the lows of his betrayal. It might sound kind of weird or counterintuitive, but the emotional turbulence that happens becomes too familiar. It becomes almost comfortable in the aspect of like, well, at least it's predictable. At least I know what's going to happen. You start to believe that this is what love looks like. That pain is just part of the package that you signed on for when you got in this relationship. But at the core of this cycle is oftentimes a diminished sense of self-worth. It erodes you. Like the betrayals that happen erode your self-esteem. They make you feel unworthy of genuine love, of genuine care, of genuine respect. You might even start to believe that the cheating is a reflection of you. That the cheating is a reflection of your inadequacy. That if you were a better partner, if you were smarter, if you were more interesting, then he'd actually stay faithful. Then he wouldn't be looking at other women. He wouldn't be going to find these people. But what you really need to understand, his cheating has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with your worth, and everything to do with his character. No matter how much you change, or no matter how much you try to be perfect, it won't be enough to satisfy someone who is fundamentally flawed. Someone who does not care and respect around you isn't going to care about what you're dealing with. He just cares about what he wants. Breaking free from a cycle means you have to have a shift in your perspective. You have to think of something different. Like you need to recognize one simple truth. You deserve better. It's not just a piece of like, hey, this is what I think. No, it's a fundamental truth. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of someone being faithful. But that won't happen unless you actually start to set boundaries and you actually see and you actually know, hey, cheating is unacceptable. I don't want this. And the consequences are, I'm not going to be with you. It might mean that you just end the relationship. It might mean you have like a set regimen of like, hey, we need to talk about your actual path back. You have to think it's about reclaiming your power, refusing to stay the victim any longer, and actually getting to a place where you have support. You have people in your life that are helping you show up for you. Surrounding you with people that are going to affirm your worth. They're going to remind you what a healthy relationship actually looks like. Because right now you might not have a clue of what a healthy relationship actually looks like. You need people that are going to help support you to rebuild you, your self-esteem, and help you actually to move forward one step at a time. The process of healing is one of the hardest things because you have to start confronting and considering the patterns in your relationship. Consider, has he actually shown a genuine commitment to change? Has he? Has he taken responsibility for his actions without deflecting or making excuses? What does that look like? True change requires introspection, requires accountability, requires consistent effort, requires honesty. And if the guy in your life is not demonstrating these qualities, it's unlikely that he ever will. Because he's not willing to actually take that step to be honest and work through them. Walking away might be the best thing you can do. It's one of the powerful actions you can take because it sends a clear message that you will not tolerate disrespect, you will not tolerate betrayal, and allows you to start to reclaim a piece of you, a sense of yourself. And it opens the door to a future where love is actually built on trust and mutual respect, not on his manipulation, not on his deceit, but on who you actually are. If you're watching this today, you already know that he's not going to change. The question is, are you? Are you going to keep believing the lies that he keeps throwing upon you? Are you going to keep letting him shatter you over and over and over? Or are you going to decide right now that you're done? Or that you're done just living this way, whatever that looks like? You've been told it's all your fault and that makes you feel crazy. No one understands you and that leaves you in a place of being alone. You've tried to break free multiple times, and that leaves you helpless because nothing you've done has actually worked. It hasn't actually got you free or liberated from this toxic relationship. So you feel crazy, alone, and hopeless. Guess what? That's a lie. Because all it is how you've been raised and conditioned inside of this abusive relationship over and over. And as a result, you've sacrificed your growth, you've sacrificed your worth, and you've been trapped inside of a toxic relationship. What if I showed you the path to freedom? A way for you to actually get free mentally and emotionally from the toxicity that's happening right here, right now. You deserve more. You deserve to be able to heal. And I want to help you with that. If I can help you with that, go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough, schedule a call there, and let's talk. If you're ready to break free, I want you to go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Here you're going to be able to see a video of me, my wife, other people that we work with, as your first step to actually waking up, to making a different decision for you. Because the only way for you to stop is game. The only way for him to stop winning is for you to stop playing. If you just stop trying to win at his game, it's not going to happen. You have to take back your power. You have to walk away. And I know in the moment that feels daunting. That feels like it might be impossible. You're like, I hear what you're saying, I get it logically, but emotionally, I don't even know how to do this. I don't even know how to connect the head to heart. They're completely disconnected. There's no way that I could even figure this out. I get it. And we've worked with a lot of people who have been exactly where you are right here, right now. I want to invite you to understand and to learn. Because if you see yourself inside of this video and you realize this is what you're struggling with, there's a path. There's a plan to be able to help you move forward so that you no longer are stuck mentally and emotionally, even physically with this guy. But if we do not rediscover you, rebuild back you, help you stand up as the woman of confidence that you actually are, nothing's going to change. If you resonate with this, I want you to go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Watch the video between myself, my wife, other clients that you'll see on there, and then fill out the application. Book a free call. Let's sit down, let's talk to see if we can help you build this plan for you to ultimately be free.